What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. I am Chad Medved, as you all know. Welcome back to my podcast. A big week this week. A big life week, big life week. But before we get to that, time to pay the bills. Shout out to Turner's Premium Tea. Turner Dairy Farms is a 90-year-old local dairy farm in Penn Hills who is a proud sponsor of the podcast. And I am, I'm honored to be able to say that I can work with Turner Dairy Farms and the creators of Turner's Premium Tea. That is something that if I was given 3 wishes, I think one of them would be to know how many Turner's teas I've drank in my life. I think that would be one of the most fascinating things to hear. Do you ever think about that? Like, my buddy drinks sometimes, and, I was like, imagine how many beers you drank in your life. And he's like, yeah, that would be a lot. And over the years, I put down quite an amount of Turner's tea. And I'm sure a lot of the ins that are listening also have. So I appreciate Turner Dairy Farms as usual. Thank you very much for, sticking with me through all of this. Definitely go out there and grab yourself a ice cold thug jug of iced tea that is available now at GetGo. Can you believe that? Now you could go to GetGo and get a nice Turner's tea or a milk if you choose. But, before you couldn't. And look at the moves that are being made. Pittsburgh companies, you got the Giant Eagle Company, you got Turner's, now they're intermingling, and what more can you want? Now we just got to get Sheetz in line. I want to be able to go to Sheetz and get a Turner tea. You know what I mean? Come on. What's the deal? But I do appreciate them. A couple things that I wanted to talk about this week. It was a big week in my life. I turned 30 years old, and I don't get weird about birthdays. And even though this is a milestone birthday, I'm not super weird about it. I had a fantastic day. Me and Antoinette went to a restaurant called Off the Hook, which is in Warrendale. And, it specializes in seafood. And it was absolutely ridiculous, stupid good. We had oysters, raw oysters. I love it. Little horseradish, little cocktail. Can't beat that. We had raw oysters. We had this platter of a bunch of random shit. We had lobster whipped potatoes. And I had what was it called? Triple chocolate latte cake, which was served in a coffee cup that was hot, that I think had a latte in the cake, maybe. I don't know what they did, but it was fucking good. And, I was pumped about that. Had a nice dinner. And I've never heard of this place ever in my life. And we went there, and like I said, it's in Warrendale. They got all kinds of good shit, but the waiter, these places that are upscale, the high dollar places, their waiters are on point. They're they know everything back of their hand, all the extra things that come with these meals, the entrees, what's on the menu, what's the extra things that are not on the menu, what's the special, what's the soup du jour, and I like that. I like being able to sit there and listen to a good spiel. One of the best, I think the best waiter I've ever had. I know that's a weird thing to kind of gauge, but I feel like that whenever if you had the best waiter you've ever had, it's kind of sticks with you. I went to that Cobra Lounge in Bloomfield, a highly regarded restaurant. They do Korean barbecue, they do karaoke, all kinds of wild shit. But the waiter there that we had was the best waiter I've ever had in my entire life. This dude knew every single thing there was to know about the menu. He broke it down to where I didn't even have to ask any questions. He filled in all the details. And if you think about that, maybe people don't think about that in the beginning, but at a high scale restaurant, that's part of what you pay for, I think, because let's be real. Like, you don't fucking know what's all on them menus. Like, I don't know what, like, duck confit. Like, now I know what it is, but like before you have it, you're like, what the fuck is pincho mofongo? You know what I mean? Like, at Streets on Carson, one of my favorite meals is pincho mofongo, which is like a barbecue chicken with like a Puerto Rican like barbecue sauce and like fried plantains that are chopped up. And I don't know what that. I would have never known what that was until I got food down there. And I don't even know where I was going with it. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with the entire story, but I had a good birthday. I had a really good birthday. Tonight, I went to my mother's house, had some ice cream cake, a little Dairy Queen ice cream cake. Like, you can't beat it. On a summer day, wipe that vanilla right off and get right to the chocolate cookie layer. God, it's unfair. I was looking at these, I've had 100 cookie cakes in my life. Not cookie cakes, but ice cream cakes in my life. And not 100, but a lot. And they are getting a little stingy. There was more vanilla in this cake. The ratios were not the same. I wish you can just get a cake of the cookie layer with the chocolate. But like, I'll cut myself an extra large piece of this ice cream cake. Vanilla right in the bottom. Sorry, that was a little bit loud, but yeah, vanilla right in the trash. Nope. And I will just go deep diving on that cookie layer. But yeah, it was a great week. I'm pumped about it. My wife fucking surprised me. She got me a big ass, like, she rented a cabin down at Deep Creek. We're gonna try to just see how it is in this world we're in right now. You know what I mean? We're in this world. Someone, I read online today that people are mandating, if you go out in public, you got to wear a mask. Like, it's just, who knows what's going on nowadays? You know what I mean? Who knows what's going to happen? But enough about that. The reason that everyone is here this week, we have a great episode. I feel like a long overdue episode. This week I sit down with Pat Bruener. Pat Bruener is the creator of Bankrupt Bodega, which is a clothing brand in the city that I'm sure that you've probably came across. He puts together all kinds of events. He puts together, these like art gallery / events. Like, this dude puts out his own clothing. I mean, he does everything. He develops photographs now. He has his hand in everything. I recently, he was stuck on my radar recently because, a couple weeks ago, he did a benefit for the 412 Food Rescue. And 412 Food Rescue is a local nonprofit whose mission is to combat hunger and to help eliminate food waste. And the organization is launching a new program called Community Takeout to support local restaurants and their employees and feed families. The program's goal is to support restaurants through the crisis by providing compensation for restaurant workers to create single-serve meals that will then distribute to local families in need. The program will start with 5 restaurants and aims to grow to more as funding allows. And the current 5 are Dianoya's, Bebe's Kitchen, Khalil's, the Warren, and Arnold's Coffee and Tea. And so what Pat did is he rode 412 miles around the city to kind of raise money for this cause. And he told me in this interview that he was like, oh, if we could raise $50, that would be great. How much do you think they rose? How much money do you think that they raised? I think that sounds more right. $9,180. And that is just, think about that. Almost $10,000. It's insane. And that's just one thing he does. So, like I said, Pat is just involved with everything. Putting out clothes, taking photographs, putting up events. He got his hand in everything. And it was cool to listen to him kind of talk about how he is kind of what he aims to do with everything. You know what I mean? Like if you look at his photos, like basically what he does is he goes and takes photos of life, like different things in life, and he puts them on different garments and creates his own clothes, and super dope. He does a lot of the work himself, and it's awesome to hear about. We talk about how he got into photography, kind of like what he wanted to do with his life, how the 412 food rescue benefit kind of came about. We talk about being a delivery person for Jimmy John's in Oakland for 4 years, and that's how he kind of like fell in love with his bike. We talk about like the photo lab. We talk about, acquiring good quality materials to make good clothing. We talk about all kinds of stuff. He is just a creative, and you could tell that like, he oozes creativity. He's just like, he's someone that just seems like it's almost like a struggle how much creativity that he has, and how many things he wants to do in life. We only have so many hours in the day, and sometimes it gets overwhelming whenever you want to do all these things, and like you got to kind of sort out what you want to do and how you want to do it, and you want to do it well, and you don't want to like fuck it up, and you don't want people to think less of what you're pouring your heart into. And I just really love talking to people that do that type of thing, and Pat is absolutely one of them. So without further ado, and I made a mistake last week for sure. So last week I said that it was episode 124, but it was 123 last week. So this week, without further ado, episode 124 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Pat Bruener.
Telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to leave the air conditioner on because
I like a cold room too, man.
yeah, I love a cold room. Who wants to be in a hot ass room? And second floor of the house gets so hot. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Plus, dude, today is the first day where it's like mad steamy outside.
I know, it was real muggy.
It feels like summer today for sure.
I golfed this morning, and
did you? Oh, I've seen that picture actually.
It was nice in the beginning, but at the end there, it was fucking muggy.
Where was that at?
Lindenwood Golf Club.
I don't know.
It's like out. It's kind of out by like Bridgeville area, Cannonsburg.
Oh, okay.
It's like you get off the Cannonsburg exit and you make a left. And I never been out there, but it's like the nicest public golf course. It's kind of like it feels like a country club, but
yeah,
it's public. It wasn't too expensive. I did real bad today.
that would be me, man.
Are you a golfer?
I took lessons when I was in grade school at Grandview.
Yeah.
You know Grandview?
Yeah, Grandview.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Oh yeah,
golf
you're from
course.
out that way.
It's the worst golf course I've ever played in my life.
I mean, it's unique.
It's that one on the hill with the mount. Yeah,
it's on the side of a mountain. It's ridiculous.
You couldn't even invite me to a free golf outing there.
Yeah, I was nice, but I never like really continued it.
Yeah. How old when did you take lessons?
Oh man, probably like maybe 5th, 6th, 7th grade.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
I'm much younger than people think.
I just have no idea. I really I know some of the shit you do around the city, but I just don't know anything about you. I don't know where you're where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Wilkins Township.
Wilkins.
Yeah, you know Wilkins?
No.
It's next to Forest Hills. East, kind of close to McKeesport, bro.
Okay.
Woodland Hills is where I went to high school.
Oh, okay. I think I do know where it is then.
Yeah.
If you went to Woodland.
Churchill.
Oh, yeah. I know where Churchill is.
Yeah, right around that area.
Okay. So you graduated in 2010?
11.
2011.
I had to think about that real hard.
I know. It's wild. It's wild to think about, kind of getting older.
Yeah.
I graduated 12 years ago. That's crazy
That's
to think
nuts.
about.
How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm about to be 30 next week.
Okay.
But like,
congrats, man. You made it to 30.
I made it to 30. Thank you. But it made me think about it because like I was watching School Rock and that came out in like 2008.
Yeah.
And I was like 2008. I was like, that's fucking
What was
12.
I doing in 2008?
12 years ago. And I was like, it's probably been 12 years since I watched that movie, but it just made me like go down like this weird nostalgic path. But okay, so to open up the podcast, I do a segment. It's called What's in the Cup.
What's in the cup?
What's in your cup?
What's in my cup is this delicious seltzer you just poured for me
Like that.
with some fruit in it. Yeah.
It's
And,
regular seltzer.
I've been on the quest to find the best seltzer, which is why I said that.
What do you like so far?
Which is why I was telling you about how good it is. I like. There's this one I get at Aldi. It's called Aha.
Yeah.
And they got this one. It's like green tea and lemon. It's
I never had that.
caffeinated as well.
Really?
It's so good.
Wow.
But yeah, because I've been trying to booze less.
Yeah.
It's been going really well, and
Yeah.
I feel great about it. But I've been trying to just like explore all the tasty beverage options.
Yeah, there's all kinds nowadays.
And I love water, but like sometimes I need a little kick.
Yeah, you need a little extra with it.
But this is fire. Thank you.
No problem. I like that for sure. I like a regular seltzer. I try to stay away from as much of the sugar as I could.
Yeah, same. I don't drink no pop. None
See,
of that.
I stopped drinking pop for years, but randomly, like I'll have like a ginger ale, and like that's
I mean,
cool.
you catch me at Five Guys crushing a burger.
I know.
I'm gonna have a Coca-Cola.
It's terrible because like if you look at how like if you have a large Coke from like McDonald's or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
that's like literally like almost, probably 100 grams of sugar, and you're just like, whew.
Yeah,
and
man.
and I feel
worked,
like
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I worked at Jimmy John's in college for 4 years.
Yeah.
And anyone who would come in and get like the biggest drink we had, or especially people who asked for extra mayo, always overweight.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, and like I mean, it's a terrible thing. Like I fall into the temptation just like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you're just like, fuck, I don't want to eat McDonald's, but you're like,
Oh, bro. I mean,
McDonald's is
it's
good.
scientifically engineered to make you want it.
I know, it's crazy,
Which is a whole nother topic.
and it's like I try to keep away from that, and I try to, but sometimes a Chick-fil-A, it just like
Chick-fil-A, it's over, dude.
I
I
know,
can
you
eat
just got to
Chick-fil-A
stop
every
there.
day.
So, I mean, like 27, I feel like that you are, I mean, I see people doing stuff in the city, but I feel like you got so many plates spinning in the
I
air.
do.
It's like you're a photographer, you are a clothing designer, you are I mean, what would you call the zine? Like, what would you call an author?
No, I honestly don't know if there's a word to describe it.
just a
I would
creative
label
dude.
that under photographer.
Yeah,
But yeah, my viewpoint on life is like I want to go out and have people be like, "That's the most creative dude I've ever seen."
yeah. I mean, like you're
And,
definitely on your way there with
I'm
that.
trying, man. I'm trying. Yeah.
And Bankrupt Bodega.
Yep.
So, like, where, like, what exactly is it? I mean, like, I know that it's a brand, but I don't know a lot about it.
So I started Bankrupt Bodega about a year and a half ago in November 2018.
Yeah.
Mostly a clothing brand. I also sell my prints. I released the zine under that as well. And yeah, I don't like to pin it into one area because it's always evolving.
Yeah, it always seems like you do like you have like every type of thing in it.
Yes.
It's just like a very broad brand, which I like. It's like it's kind of like what I try to do with the podcast shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's nice to not have like a
I don't want to pin myself down and then be like a year from now I'm thinking about working on a project and then I'm like that doesn't work with the branding or anything. Like I just want to do what I want to do.
Now, what do you do? Like, what's part of the brand that's like you give back to food for?
Yeah. So what it is the concept / goal that I have for the brand.
Yeah.
Is it starts with the name. So Bankrupt Bodega. Bodega is sort of like a two-part metaphor, right?
Yeah.
So Bodega, and I'm gonna clarify this because I've found out over the last year and a half a lot of people don't know what a bodega is. A bodega.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know what it is.
A bodega is like what we would refer to as like a corner store or
Yes.
like your gas station shop or something. But they're more common in like Philly or New York.
Yes.
But historically, bodegas are like ethnic enclaves for like You might have like a Hispanic, like Italian grocery like on the corner, and they would be like staples in the community.
Yeah.
And there's like this trust that exists between the people. I mean, this still goes on today, even like, especially in New York or Philly, like I said. But there's this trust that exists between like the people in that neighborhood, and like they stick to their one bodega. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So there's that community aspect of it, and the bankrupt aspect of it is sort of this metaphor, just like how the world is changing and cities are changing, and like a lot of these mom and pop shops might be going out of business. Just like, I don't know. I as you can tell, I get myself worked up over this.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. I feel like that it's just like, from my point of view, I see this like this brand, and I see you like do all these things, and like it's obviously that like you're super passionate about like the city and like community and everything, like, and you could tell that from like your social media.
Yeah.
And you just finished that bike ride.
Yeah.
So like that's what like I started seeing everyone like posting about that.
Yeah.
And
that blew up.
412 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where's this idea come from?
First, can we circle back to what we were talking about a second ago?
Yeah.
About the brand name and what I want to do with it. So it's this idea that I give back a percentage of my proceeds to local organizations, nonprofits that work in the community. And right now, I'm donating to 412 Food Rescue. But ideally, I would like to, in the future, like sort of rotate organizations.
Okay, you like different ones, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, the 412. What was the question about it?
Like I saw that you were doing like this bike ride,
yeah.
And like I know that you were doing it for the food rescue,
yes.
And it's like everything that I see with your like all the events that I see that you guys do, and like I say you guys, but it's just you.
It is.
I see what you put together, and it's always like it always has that aspect of like giving back.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're always like trying to like focus on that as well as like be creative and be unique.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's super interesting that like you're able to find a way to kind of create a product that exudes your passion for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And the bike ride is like what I started seeing, and what started like it was just like taking off my every scroll on Instagram.
Yeah.
Everyone was posting shit about it, and I saw that you were riding 412 miles for that food rescue. And obviously like all the stuff you do is like lining up with like giving back. It's like, how did you come up with like that idea to do that?
First of all, I've always wanted to do something like a major fundraiser like that.
Yeah.
Rather than just like donate 5% of sales or something.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something big. So, how I came up with it was sort of at the start of the quarantine and everything.
Yeah.
I was like just going through some personal shit, just like wasn't really in a great place. And I started, I quit drinking. I started working out every day. I started a yoga routine.
I love
changed my life, man.
Yoga's crazy, right?
I know you'd be talking about it all the time.
People
It's
sleep
crazy.
on it, dude, and I
Absolutely
was one
crazy.
of them. And
Absolutely
I try to hit it with everyone anytime I can. I tell
Yeah.
people it's like it is worth trying.
It really is
Worth
It
trying,
Really
but
is.
go ahead.
And I'll just be messing around on YouTube. And like,
That's fine.
Or like I've gotten to the point where I like know some moves. So
yeah,
I'll just, like,
and you
do
can
my own
kind of
shit.
go through like a vinyasa, and
Yeah.
you're just like
Yeah.
you're good with it,
Dude, it'll turn your whole day around. It's crazy.
100%. If you take out like even 10 minutes,
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes
For
to
real.
even do this, just for you to like connect with yourself and like kind of put everything to the side and take that time for yourself, dude,
Yeah.
changes it.
Yeah. I love it, dude.
Yeah, yoga,
But,
dude. That's awesome that you like kind of switched into that and got into the healthy feel of it all.
Yeah. So where I was going with that, I started riding my bike
Yeah.
because it was like, I don't know, a safe social distancing activity, I guess. And I had always ridden my bike a lot. Like I said, when I was at Jimmy John's,
So you were delivering shit on bikes.
4 years, in Oakland, up and down them hills.
How
all day.
wild was that?
It was great. Best job I ever had.
I
bro.
bet it would be. Like I was never a
The
bike
money
guy.
was all right, too.
I was never a bike guy, so like I
Yeah.
never really like understood, and like I know the idea of like a messenger, like a bike delivery place.
That's pretty much what it was.
And it's like I never think about it. Like I feel like people never really even like think about that position. But like now that I started riding a bike, I'm like, that would be fucking dope.
Dude, it was dope.
I bet it was.
I guarantee I will get you your sandwich quicker than someone in a car. Guaranteed.
I bet, dude.
In Oakland, especially.
I bet. That's wild. Keep yourself in shape too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That was the most fit I've ever been. So I started riding like crazy, and I started to sort of like realize like how well it was treating me, like mentally and physically. It was just like a way to clear my mind, and I started to get in shape from it. And as I kept riding, I would like every day I would just ride more until the point I was hitting like 50, 60 miles a day.
Those are big
and my
miles.
my little cousin, shout out to you, Matt. He runs track at Duquesne.
Okay.
He's like a big track guy. And he suggested to me, he was like, yo, you should look for a distance race of some sort. And I was like, well, shit, man. It's like nobody's having a race right now. Like,
Yeah.
It's the last thing anyone's thinking of. So I was like, I'll do my own. And that was it.
And that's how you just created your own event.
Yeah. And then originally it was going to be 150 miles. Then it was going to be 250. And I was talking to my guy, David Namenis, who works at 412 Food Rescue. He sort of helped me coordinate the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like talking to him one day, and I was like, dude, what if I did 412 miles? Like, just saying that is just like crazy.
Yeah,
right?
it's insane to think about that.
And I felt like that really just added some drama to it, where like people would really get behind it.
Yeah, 412. Anyone can
Yeah.
get behind 412.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Any people in Pittsburgh,
They just want a reason.
412, people's ears perk.
Yeah, they just want to read.
It's
And
so
that's
true.
what I started seeing about it.
Yeah.
412 miles. And I was like, man, that's wild. So, like,
Yeah.
what was the time period that you did it in?
In a week.
In 1 week you did it?
7 days, yep.
Now, what was like now, I'm curious, like, what were your, like, did you have like a plan of where you were going to go, or are you just like, fuck it, I'm riding?
Pretty much, fuck it, I'm riding.
Okay.
But the first day, I spent a lot of time like out on the trail past McKeesport.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would just like loop the city all day.
Wait, past McKeesport, like the Boston Trail?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, the Gap Trail.
Yeah. Like, but like past like Boston, like, is that where you're, like, toward
Yeah.
Buena Vista?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Past
I know
Little
what you're
Boston.
talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
So
about.
the first day, I did 100 miles in one ride. It took me 6 hours.
Was it a beast?
No, I felt great, dude. I could have kept going.
Yeah.
It got dark. I had to quit.
Yeah. It's sketchy riding at night.
I hate it, yeah.
It's really, really sketchy. I've been thinking about like riding on them trails.
Yeah.
I do it in the daytime, but it's like at
Yeah.
nighttime, is it get sketchy? Like I think
It's
about
sketchy,
it.
man. You might hit a pothole. I know a lady who cracked her head open because a squirrel ran out on the trail.
Really?
Yeah. She wasn't
That's-
wearing a helmet because she was like, I'm riding on the trail. I'm cool.
Yeah, I need to get a helmet for sure.
Yeah.
I almost got taken out by at the casino. the
Oh,
other
yeah?
day.
Yeah, I seen you've been riding, man.
By Tesla.
We got to get out there soon.
For sure. We definitely got to do it. And like that's why like, you know, America is like riding bikes
Wait,
now.
you almost got hit by a Tesla?
Yeah, I couldn't
Oh,
hear it,
bro.
dude.
You could have been rich.
I know I couldn't hear it, but I was coming across I was coming from like the Stage AE corner to go towards where the river is, and I was like, I looked both ways, and I was like, oh, I bet we're good, and I just started going across, and this Tesla like just floated near me, and I was like, fuck, I like hit my brake, and it was like, like my tire like skid, and it was so funny. Like me and my buddy were just dying laughing, but it could have been bad. But I see, but like America's biking right now, and like I see that you do it, and like the only thing that like I never cared about biking before, but now I do it. Like I can kind of like understand like how, you know, I could put there's a point of reference on like the distance like you're doing. Like 100 miles is a beast move. Like that's definitely.
I'll tell you what,
crazy.
man. That wasn't what was more challenging. So I did 100 miles the first day. Second day, I had to chill a little. I think I did like 35 or 40. And then the third day, my roommates were going up to Ohio to camp that night.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about it. My roommate told me that morning, and I was like, oh shit, I'm riding my bike there in Minions. So I rode all the way to Ohio in one trip. Yeah,
That's 75
which is a
miles,
beast.
right?
It's about 75. I got there, and we didn't really like clarify the plans well enough. So I roll into a hot pile. I'm like, thank God I'm here. I'm about to collapse.
Yeah.
Because it's harder than the 100 miles I did. Because after like Little Boston, it's straight uphill, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then once you get close to Ohio Pile, like it's
even more uphill.
You got to really dig in deep. Yeah. So I roll into Ohio Pile. I hit them up. I'm like, yo, I'm here. Like, and I come to find out they're camping like 6 miles outside of Ohio Pile. So I'm like, all right, man, I can get 6 miles. So I look on Google Maps, dude. It says for an hour, for 6 miles, an hour. And I'm like looking around. I'm like looking in the direction. And I'm like looking up in this mountain like, oh my God, dude. So it's dark. I don't got no lights. I'm on the highway riding up this mountain to meet them. It's crazy. I had no idea where I was going.
They wouldn't pick you up?
Dude, I made a commitment to myself that I wouldn't, if I walked anything, I would exclude it. Or like if somebody picked me up, that wouldn't be part of it. So I don't know. That was a personal thing, kind of.
That's all right, though. I love that. That's. I mean, it's probably the harder the challenge, the bigger reward.
Yeah.
You probably felt great after that.
I did. I got there, and it was really rewarding. That's one of the craziest things I've ever done, seriously.
Yeah, that's dope. That's, like I said, to put a frame and a mind into that, like with what I've been riding, like that's some big.
What do you ride? Like what was you like?
The most I've ever done. The most I've ever done was 43.5 miles.
That's a nice ride.
It was nice, but I didn't really choose to. Me and my wife were at Ohio Pile, and she wanted to ride bikes. I have a bike. She doesn't. We had to rent one up there. We were right at that bridge at Ohio Pile. You know where I'm talking about? So we would get on the bridge and go left, and so we wanted to hit 30 miles. She never hit 30 miles, and she wanted to hit 30 miles. So I was like, fuck it. We'll go up there, 15 out, 15 back. We're done. So we get 15 miles there. We chill for a second. It's super nice. You know, there's no one there. Weather was great. You know, nice and cool. And then we go to turn around, and we get 9 miles back. So there's 6 miles remaining, okay? Her fucking tire blows.
Oh, no.
And it was her back tire. So I was like, shit, it's about 4 o'clock. It looks like rain's coming. So I was like, God, we got 6 miles and I got to carry this bike.
Yeah.
And I was miserable about it. So I was like carrying this bike for 1.5 miles, and I was like, this is going to be a beast. I was like, it's going to be 5 more miles and it's going to be a beast. So someone was coming by and they were like, call the rental place. They might send someone out to fix it. So I call the rental place, and they're like, all right, we'll try to find you, get someone out there. And I'm like, So I hang up, wait 20 minutes. No
it's like
one,
waiting for AAA.
Dude, wait 20 minutes. But you don't even know if they're going to find you. AAA knows where you are. But 20 minutes I'm waiting, and I'm like, shit. I was like, all right, so just sit here with the bike. I'm going to bike 5 miles back as quick as I can, get someone, and bring them back. And so I rip up 5 miles, and I'm just ripping like a bat out of hell. And I get there, and I'm like, yo, dude, I'm the guy who called about the flat tire. He was like, yeah, we sent someone out. And I was like, what? I was like, I didn't see him coming down the trail. He's like, oh, we sent him the other way in the van. And I was like, oh, my God. So I had to ride 5 miles back there, and it was just, it was a beast of a day. But that was the most I ever did.
Did Antoinette get her 30?
She did.
That's what's
she
up.
got her 30, and she was pumped about
That's
it.
what's up, man.
After it was like, it could have been bad, but like, it was good. And I never felt like I would be able to ride that far. But once you get on that bike, it's like,
yeah, same thing as like a runner's high. Like once you get to a certain point where it's just like you reach like a new peak, kind of. You just get like unlock new levels of energy.
Yeah, it's insane, and you're just like, and especially like I do a lot of the rides now like by myself. Like I just love going by myself, and I have a little Bluetooth
Dude, that's
speaker.
my every night I go on a ride.
I know, it's so nice. It's just I got a little Bluetooth speaker, and I just been putting on the Run to the Jewels album, the new one, and just on repeat, and it's just like ripping like all around the city, and it's so nice. We have so many nice trails around
we
here.
We
it's
really
like,
do.
I
we
feel
are
like
blessed with that for sure.
People don't know about it as much, I feel. Now you got up to Ohio Pile, and like you finished these 412 miles.
Well, that was only the third day.
Yeah.
The rest of the week I just like lapped the city all week, like probably like 50-60 miles every day.
And people were donating to the cause?
Oh yeah, it was coming in like crazy. The first 24 hours we did $1,000. 48 hours we did over 2,000, and then it was just like nonstop from there.
Jeez. What was the ending number that you guys got to donate?
$9,180.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Really? 9,000? Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Dude, congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
That's fucking dope. Like that's cool to say that you were able to do that. Like I'm curious to know, Lo, it's like when you were younger, It's like, what are you like as a younger kid? Like, did you have any idea like what you wanted to do? Did you know that you wanted to run a clothing brand or anything?
I was all like pretty like sporadic kid, like all over the place.
Yeah.
Not sure my mom would agree with that.
Yeah. Like, what would you have hobbies back then?
What'd you say?
Do you have hobbies? Do you like play sports or anything?
Oh yeah, I played soccer my entire life.
Oh, okay. You look like a soccer player.
I played hockey. Yeah, I love soccer, dude. So I think the best sport ever.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to watch. I could watch soccer.
I watched.
I can't watch
Premier
basketball
League just
or baseball.
started again, like 2 days ago. Premier League is like the biggest league in England.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably.
But
pretty
the
good.
German league has been going. They've been back for like 2 weeks now.
Really?
Yeah, they were on top of it.
Do you still watch it pretty actively?
Oh yeah,
That's what's up.
If there's a game on, I'm watching it, dude.
That's
or
what's up.
listening. But me as a kid, sorry. I always wanted to be an architect. I was always super into design and sort of just like creating anything. I used to like work with my grandpa. I had like a little shed. He was like, I used to spend a lot of time with my grandparents. My parents, that was basically my daycare.
Yeah.
And my grandpa is a painter. So we would just like hang out in the shed all day and make sculptures or paintings or whatever.
That's so sick.
Watching hella Fred Rogers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's such a
grew up on
cool.
that shit.
That's such like a cool like thought. Like
Yeah.
just sitting in a shed with your pap making some
Yep.
cool shit.
Yep.
That's dope.
Dude, those are some of like my most nostalgic moments
Yeah, they
for
have
sure.
to be, right?
Like, yeah.
And he's still with us.
He's still here. Yep.
Yeah, that's dope, dude.
Yeah.
My pap passed away whenever I was younger, and like
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. That's all right. It's just like I wish that I was able to be older and be able to like talk to him and like
Yeah.
kind of like do that.
Gain his wisdom almost.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really appreciate talking to older people
got to.
just for their knowledge and
It's
insights on the
fascinating.
world.
It's
Yeah,
fascinating, dude.
it is.
They've seen everything.
They have.
It's like it's crazy to think about that, and it's like now so you wanted to be an architect in school and things like that. Are you in like art classes and photography classes and stuff like that?
I'll put it this way: I like in grade school and high school,
high school stuff.
I was always better in art class than I was in math.
Yeah,
Infinitely.
yeah, absolutely.
Then I went to Pitt for 4 years. I studied urban planning and historic preservation.
Really,
Yes.
that sounds interesting.
And I took some courses in photography there through Pittsburgh Filmmakers,
Yeah,
which is no longer around.
yeah,
But yeah, so I learned a lot there. Specifically like film courses. I did a few digital courses and like Photoshop type shit, but I was always really into film.
was that like your first time with a camera? Like, was that like whenever you
My
started
first time
getting
with a
into it?
camera, my parents always had cameras.
Okay.
I have both of their cameras right now. This is my dad's camera he gave me,
yeah,
which pretty much changed my life. That's why I have it on my arm.
yeah.
I'm supposed to get another one soon. But yeah, so I was always around cameras. And then for Christmas one year, I got like a little nicer digital camera, and I started messing around with it. Not doing like, this was still in high school, not really taking it seriously or anything, but
Yeah,
definitely looking back, that was like had an influence on what I do now.
that's dope.
But yeah, as long as I can remember, I've always had a camera.
Yeah, that's super interesting. In Pitt, like that's where you're like kind of coming into like getting more interested in it and like kind of going deeper into it. Mm-hmm. And that's like the reason I asked that is because like that's before like the Bankrupt Bodega. So like,
Yep.
Was that like your first like lane of creativity?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I was always creative.
Yeah,
But that when I went to college, it was just like moving from the suburbs to the city and like meeting people who weren't from Pittsburgh. That was just like changed my life, and just like starting to talk with them about their experiences and their influences. It was just a huge eye opener. My freshman year, I started a brand with two of my friends. It's called Vernacular.
Vernacular.
Yeah, I don't know if
Was it a clothing brand?
It was clothing. Yeah, it wasn't anything like Bankrupt Bodega, but it was pretty cool. We did like consignment at Time Bomb, and we had some shirts in Daily Bread at the time as well.
That's dope.
But the one dude moved to New York, so it kind of fell apart.
That's understandable. I had a clothing brand too. Fell apart.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it's chapters in your life.
Yeah.
It's
it
dope
really
to
is.
think about that.
Yeah.
Do you think about that as a positive or a negative?
Oh, it was a learning experience for sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
You can't ever like. I'm so fortunate to, you know, have had that experience whenever you're younger. How old were you whenever you did that?
I was freshman year of college, 17 or 18.
Yeah. See, like that's dope.
And my boys were the same age too. We were all freshmen.
Yeah, like that's like in that moment though, like ain't it crazy? Like in that moment, that's everything that you have inside your heart.
Oh yeah, we cared about that more than we did class.
And it's such a cool like you know, I know that like I don't know, the only reason I bring that up is because like I know like how that felt like being younger and like, you know, having a brand and like living and dying by like that was everything that you ever wanted.
It was. We used to do events as well. We had some cool events, pop-up shops at this one art gallery in Garfield for like First Fridays. We were pretty regular on that, and we would have like musicians come and play, different artists come and show work. So yeah, I mean that's basically what I did. Have you heard of the Bloomfield Corner Store?
I don't know.
It's an event I did last spring. Not last, 2 springs ago.
I think I might have. Was it like an art event?
It was, yeah. So what it was is I rented out an art gallery in Bloomfield for a week, and I curated a whole list of artists, musicians, clothing designers. I had like my friend's a glass blower, all kinds of shit. So what it was is each day of the week I wanted to let me back up a sec. So my stuff would be in there, my clothes and my prints would be on the wall, just in one section of the gallery, and then I left basically half of the gallery as a blank canvas. And what it was is I made this whole schedule where every day of the week was a different art show.
I do know what you're talking about.
Or I had a different musician in there. It was a huge success, man. So like even looking at that, like the previous events we used to do with like vernacular, like definitely sort of shaped like the direction of where I wanted to go with like stuff like that. So
that's super cool.
It is, yeah.
That's definitely now. It's like you obviously seem to have like, you know, a creative mind where it's just like always like trying to think of new shit. I assume that's how you are.
Yes.
You just always have ideas.
I never stop.
I know.
I come up with my best ideas as soon as I lay down to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then I'm up for 2 hours.
Yeah,
thinking about shit.
Writing shit down and everything.
Absolutely, dude. I keep a pen and paper next to my bed.
Yeah, yeah. I'm similar. I always kind of have shit that's like kind of brewing in my head.
Yeah.
When is like, so if you're in Pitt and everything like that, and you get out of there, it's like what's between that time of college and I guess where we are now. It's like, did you ever kind of get into that corporate world?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For the summer right after I graduated, I worked at Siena Mercado at Tedo, the rooftop beer garden. You ever been up there?
No, I don't think
super
so.
nice bar, dude. Kind of yuppie. I don't know.
Where's this at?
Siena Mercado on Penn Avenue in Cultural District downtown.
But what is Tedo?
So Siena Mercado is, people always, this is confusing. Siena Mercado is like the overall brand. And then within that brand, they have it's a 3-story building. They have 3 restaurants. Each floor is a different restaurant. And the rooftop is called Tedo.
Oh, okay.
And it's a beer garden. They have like a ridiculous amount of drafts. It's super cool. There's this like retractable glass roof. The whole roof is glass, yeah, and it like folds back into itself.
Jeez.
Super dope spot.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool spot.
It really is. So I did that for a summer, which was fun. I like learned a ton at that job actually.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got a job at Uber. I worked there for 3 years. In the driverless car department, autonomous vehicle.
Really?
Section. Yeah.
What were you doing with there?
I made maps that essentially control the cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there still autonomous cars around here? I heard that they were
not
hitting
so much
people or
with
whatever.
Uber. Uber ran into like some trouble, man. Like they, like 2 years ago, one of the cars killed a lady in Arizona, and since then it was just like a downward spiral.
Yeah. Is that the only death that there was with them cars?
I'm not sure. There's been other incidents though.
One of them automatic cars hit someone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But she was like jaywalking in the middle of the road. I don't know.
I know it's a messy situation.
It's a messy thing.
eerie.
But
It's eerie
it
to
is.
see a
And-
car that's don't have a person in it.
Yeah, I never really understood it. To me, it was just a job.
That's cool though. It sounds interesting.
I absolutely hated it.
Really?
Let me put it this way. I didn't absolutely hate it. I met a lot of good people there who I'm still friends with today.
Yeah.
I just hated the corporate world.
Yeah.
I hate how fake people are in that environment, and
That's completely
just all the bullshit that comes with it.
Completely understandable. It's like putting an animal in a cage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a shame.
For the first year though, it was mad cool, dude. It was like really felt like kind of like a tech startup, and it was at that time.
Yeah.
This is early 2016. We're talking.
Now, what do you mean when you're making maps? Like where are you making these maps? Like how do you make them?
I can't say too much because I have a contract that says I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Oh,
but
wow. Okay,
I'll
that's
tell you as much as I can.
That's understandable.
Yeah, let me think about that for a sec.
Is it like can you say is it just like whenever you say that there's maps, like are you coming up with routes? Is that what you mean?
That's a department within my department
okay.
who so what happens is the cars go out on what you would call like a data route.
Yeah.
And they use a LiDAR. Are you familiar with LiDAR?
No.
LiDAR is like people call it the KFC bucket that spins on top of them.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
I know exactly what you're talking about now.
And what that does is, the car is absolutely covered in sensors. Some of them you can see, some of them you can't. But the main one is the thing on the roof.
Yeah.
What that does is sends laser beams out at incredibly fast speeds, and the lasers bounce off of anything in the surrounding and come back into the LiDAR system.
Yeah.
And that allows us to 3D map the world, essentially.
Huh.
But that's not actually... We use some of that for mapping, but not really. Where the maps come into play is... basically, you get the car is also covered in cameras, 360-degree camera view. And what that does is basically gives you... And then we use an in-house software that we've made that's designed to work with this data and then be put back onto the cars. So the data comes into the software basically looking like a Google Maps kind of map.
Ah, okay.
Super, super simple. But what it is there's different layers of it. Like you can see elevation, like you can tell what's the curb and what's not. You can see all the paint lines, all that kind of shit. It's crazy. But then what we do is basically use that information from the data collect in the map I was talking about. It looks like a Google map. And then we basically just draw maps over top of it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that turns into basically like a digitalized map that then gets imported onto the car, and the computer system on the car is able to read that and know where to go.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's some next world type shit.
Yeah, it's way above my my education. I
personally like driving. I don't think they're necessary.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy driving. Like nothing
I think
better.
it's cool to explore technologies though, and I think what they wanted to do really was be able to sell that technology.
Yeah, I guess so. I never really thought about like the benefits of a self-driving car.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess. I don't know. It's a whole different animal to slay. But anyway, back to this. Back to your creative side.
Yeah.
Now it's like
I did that for 3 years,
Yeah.
and then I'll tie us in here. So I got laid off actually.
Yeah.
Because what it is those cars don't make any money.
I
So
guess
they
wouldn't.
started laying a bunch of people off, and I just got cut. They recently, like in the last month, they had laid off basically my entire department.
This just happened.
Oh yeah.
Last
all of my
month?
friends, yeah.
Oh really?
I only have a few friends who work there still.
Is this before quarantine?
This is in the middle of quarantine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because people really weren't taking Ubers, and they started just losing money like crazy.
I guess people wouldn't be taking Ubers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. So, I mean, I guess, I didn't even put together that this just is like, last month.
Yeah.
I guess
So
it's current.
I started Bankrupt Bodega about a year before I got fired. So I was working on it at the same time I was working at Uber.
Yeah.
And then when I got fired, I shouldn't say fired, I got laid off.
Yeah.
That's when I really started taking it seriously. And Yeah, I have been since.
And now, whenever you're doing these like types of events, and you're kind of putting everything together, it's like, now you brought me over an episode of this. Would you call it an episode of the zine?
A volume.
Volume. Yeah, I guess that's a better word. Volume. Now it's like, what do you think? Like, all your clothing like revolves around like these photos you take. Mm-hmm. All right. Now these photos that you take, like what's like the inspiration behind, taking photos? Like your photos are super unique, I feel, because I don't see, it's like I see different like buildingscapes. I see different
That's
like
a lot of it, yeah.
Architecture, and like
the way I approach it is, I try to look at everyday things that, like this window, for instance, like if you're walking down that alley, you're not going to think that's like a piece of art. But if you frame it in the right way, maybe it will be.
Yeah.
So and where I really started doing that, like when I started the brand, I would just like walk my dog for hours and just take hundreds of photos of everything. And then I'll go through them. I'll be like, this one sucks. This one's cool. Maybe I'll keep this one,
Yeah. It's basically you just walking around though and documenting.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's very rare that I go out like with a photo in mind.
That's
Recently,
cool.
I've started to do that a bit more because I started shooting more film. You have to be a bit more precise, and you can't take 100 shots.
Isn't it crazy expensive? It's just more expensive than digital.
It is, but I started a film lab where I develop people's film for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's another aspect of the business.
I didn't even know
Bodega
that.
Film Lab, yeah.
Bodega Film Lab.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And it's just like where.
So I'm able to essentially break even on. I don't. As of right now, I don't necessarily make any money off of that, but it allows me to shoot film for free. Pretty much.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good way to keep that
Otherwise, it would be mad expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine. It's like you can take 15 photos on a digital camera and go through the ones that are shitty and delete them.
Yeah.
But it's like film, you got it. Whatever you got, you got. Now, I mean, like you're going around and you're walking and you're documenting like this world, and it's like how do you, like whenever you're creating things and like kind of putting out these like material items, it obviously costs money to create good things, and you want to create quality things. Like how do you have an idea of what you want to put out there?
For those, those were some of the first shirts I did, and I work with Clockwise.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Clockwise?
Yeah, I know about them. They're
okay,
print
yeah.
shop.
So, are you familiar with like screen printing and
for a little bit?
Okay, so what I wanted to do there is just like keep them clean and simple, t-shirts, and then I started to realize anything I put out, dude, it's not like I don't really function like a normal clothing brand necessarily. Like if you look at a brand like 412, like they probably have shit planned ahead 4 months or whatever.
Yeah.
If you look at a brand like Gucci, they got shit planned ahead a year and a half.
Yeah, more than that probably.
Yeah. I'll come up with something and I'll have it done next week.
100%.
Like, I don't really
spontaneous.
I'm spontaneous with it. Exactly.
I like that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
I don't really plan too much shit. I can't. My problem is I cannot sit on anything.
Yeah.
If I have something, I need to get it out of me. It's like it eats away at me. If I have ideas, if I have a design, I'll have designs in my mind. I'm not artistic at all. That's the problem.
Sure you are.
Well, I'm artistic in a different way. I can't draw pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I could, I would have so much more done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard to convey what's in my mind to people that could put it on a digital file to use. But once I do have those like ideas and things like that, I feel that it's like I find someone to come up with. I find someone to do the design, and I get it made, and then I just randomly just start pushing shit out. It's like that. The mugs, for instance, you know, like I was like, I've had them, and I was just like waiting, and I was like, oh, should I wait to put them out until like fall time or people drinking hot coffee in the summertime? But like, I was just too excited.
Yeah.
You know, I can't like wait for shit like that.
You.
If it needs to be out, it needs to be out. So I respect like the whole idea of like being. I respect spontaneity.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
like,
you. I just that's just how I've always been, man.
It's good.
And I don't know if it'll change.
It's all right. Do you find a negative from it?
It's a bit more stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Like I put out some clothes yesterday, dude, and I do everything myself. So the product shots, run the website, design the website. So, and I don't know, dude. I'm known for this, putting too much shit on my plate at one time. And so I put out some clothes yesterday, dude, and I didn't have them on the drop was at 7:00. It was like 6:59 and 50 seconds, and I was just uploading the clothes to the website.
Yeah.
So it adds a level of stress. That's not to say I was like dicking around all day and didn't get to it. Like I just had mad shit to do.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I kind of have the same type of, I mean, maybe you're not this way, but I get like a crazy anxiety about like everything that I'm doing, basically.
For sure. I have terrible anxiety, dude.
It's like, and you have to, I feel like you have to have it if you are someone that is like passionate about what they're putting out. It's like, if you're not insane about it, it's like I don't know, dude, there's a certain level of care. I'm so particular. I'm so like controlling, and like I just want it to be the way that I want it to be. I want it to be right. I want it to come off it how I want it to come off. So it's like I'm sure if
you're not doing that, you're wasting your time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like facing them same demons, but you're doing like twice as much. You're doing 3 times as much shit as I'm doing. So it's like I know how stressful I am to like put out a podcast, just talking. And, every once in a while.
It takes a while to edit, no?
I mean, it depends. Luckily, like with this solo shit, with like the past like 10 weeks of me doing them solo episodes that were basically just research topics. I don't know, dude. I could talk forever. Yeah. And
I told you did a great job, man.
I appreciate it.
Because I could not talk to myself that long. I was like, God damn, dude. And it's not even like you're just bullshitting. Like you're saying valuable things.
I appreciate that. I think it all just comes down to like, how much you put into it. It's like, I live and breathe this shit, dude.
Would you say this is an art form, what we're doing right now?
100%.
Me too.
This is like, so the way that I kind of like talk about it is, I grew up, my best friends in the world played in bands, are actual like painters, artists. Like everyone around me has always been able to give some physical form of their art to the world. And I've never played an instrument. I've never been able to give anything to the world, basically. The only thing that I've ever like kind of did was like, I would always just try to make people laugh, dude. Like that was like,
so your personality is a gift to the world.
I would try in the beginning. That was the only thing I was able to give. And then like I've always wanted to do a clothing line, and then I started that clothing line back in like 2012, and like that was my first time to be able to like ever create something to give to the world. And then like that all fell apart, and that was just like me being young, and like I look at it now, and it's not what I would have loved. Like I critique the fuck out of it now, but it's like this is why I'm so passionate about the podcast, and this is why I'm so like crazy about it, and why I'm so particular is like this is my form of art. It's like and I feel like that this is what I could put out in the world and like kind of give to people. That's why like I take so much like pride in like, even them stupid like research podcasts like about cults and pyramid schemes.
I don't
like,
think it's stupid.
Well, I know. I call it stupid, and I can't undersell it, but it's like I become obsessed with that topic. What I would do is I would just become obsessed with the topic and like research the hell out of it for like 3 days. And I would just anything I would find, I would just research it, and like I would just like come up with like my thoughts of that topic, and like talk for an hour about it. Yeah. And
I think I'm telling you, dude, I think that's so impressive.
I really appreciate that. But that's why I kind of curate the guests the way I do. I'm particular about who I have on here and like when I have them on, because it's like I don't use a notebook. Like I don't have like I'm very spontaneous with it, and I feel like
I like that. It's just gives it an organic feel.
I appreciate
for me,
that.
and
that's what I
think the guests appreciate it too, because it's not like you're like looking at your notes or nothing. Like We're just having a very nice conversation.
And that's why, like, I like, if I'm not like genuinely curious about it,
that's what especially makes it an art form for me, for you. Is the fact that you can just sit here and we can, like, we have never met before today.
Yeah, never.
But we can just go back and forth and have a great conversation and come up with shit off the top of the head. And it's not like anything's prepared or anything.
I don't prepare anything really. I just kind of like, I keep, like, I know what people are doing in the city, and then, like, I develop my own curiosity about them. And whether it's someone like, you know, Rick Seaback or like anything like that, it's just like, if I'm not genuinely
kudos
interested,
for that also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He was the man.
Yeah.
But if I'm not genuinely interested in it, it's like, I feel like I can't talk about it because it's not going to come off as like genuine or authentic.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that the stuff that you do is like, you know, you could tell that it's like, you know, you have your own style of it. And it's it's interesting to like see how everyone like conveys their own like style and flavor into what they put out. And it's like, I mean, it's cool to be able to notice that with everyone, whether it be like, you know, a music producer like Billy Hoyle or like someone like you that does like the Bankrupt Bodega or any other clothing brand. Yeah. It's like, you can tell who's out there doing like real shit and like who's passionate about it and who is like really like, you know, doing it for themselves and not trying to just be like a sellout. Not even in like a sellout, but not trying to be like, you know, generic. Generic. We said it at the same time.
Exactly. That's the word we were looking for.
Yeah, exactly the same word. So,
good.
I mean, I don't even know what else to say.
I want to also include, I forgot to mention this, like there was also a period in time I did concert photography for about 5 years. Yeah. I've done festivals across the country.
You just seem like to be everywhere.
Toured with bands. I've shot some big names before.
Like and now whenever you're like what are you kind of someone that had like an idea of like where you wanted your life to go? Like I know that you said that you were working for Uber and it's like not exactly what you wanted to be or what you wanted to do, but it's like do you have like a perfect world situation that you have of like where you want to be with everything and what you want to do with everything? And like,
absolutely not. I don't no. No, I mean,
I don't either.
Absolutely not. It's the same way I put out my artwork. That's a reflection of my life, man. I'm pretty scatterbrained. I'm pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty scatterbrained and spontaneous.
It's like not a bad thing, dude.
Yeah.
Being scatterbrained is not a bad thing because if it was a bad thing, I would be calling myself bad because I'm scatterbrained too. Yeah. I feel like that, you know, someone, I don't know, the word creative I feel like is
played out
just like the word, you know, authenticity, you know, that's all played out, bro. It's just like, it seems, you know, you could just tell who's like kind of real about it and stuff, but
for sure,
if you're scatterbrained, I feel like, you know, that's a positive. I mean, you're always just trying to be creative and think of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a positive too. And I mean, it's like all I know. Like I said, that's a reflection of my personality. It's just like, I don't know.
What was life like during the quarantine for you with all your downtime and like having like, you know, all these like kind of, I don't know if you had it the same time as me, but like there's lockdown, there ain't shit to do. It's like, what were your ideas being someone who was so creative? I loved it, dude.
I think it was one of the best times of my life.
Yeah?
Honestly.
Like what were you doing?
I was working and working on clothes. I was getting the film lab set up and launched. I launched that about 2 months ago, so that was in the middle of it all. Ton of sewing though.
Sewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the?
Yeah, you put the patches and everything on these on the materials. Yeah. You print your own patches of like your own photography. It's like, do you do that stuff yourself?
Do I print them myself? No.
Yeah, that's where you work with Clockwise?
No, I don't work with Clockwise. We definitely got like, very sidetracked there.
We did. That's what
I
the
enjoyed
podcast
it, though.
is.
I enjoyed it. So back, this shirt, that's like one of the first things I did, which is cool. Those are mad expensive to make just because it's a direct-to-garment transfer.
Yeah.
But the quality is fantastic. But they're mad expensive. It's just like I wasn't ready to be producing at that level. So after those... I wanted to find a way to still work with photos and clothing So I explored a few options. There's ways you can screen print photos using like a 4-color press. You familiar with that? Like CMYK? Okay. That's cool, but like the quality kind of lacks on those. It's like all blotty and shitty looking. I didn't want to do that. So I was thinking of ways to still put the photos onto clothes, and I also wanted to sort of tap in. I've always loved like vintage clothes and just like going thrifting and feeling everything and picking things out. So I started doing that, and I had like this stockpile of clothes I didn't know what to do with, and then it occurred to me that if I could have the photos printed onto fabric somehow, and I learned how to sew, I could sew them shits on there.
Yeah.
And that was like a game changer for me, because also I want to, the direction I want to take the brand is sort of towards like recycling clothes and really tapping into this sort of vintage market that's super hot right now.
Yeah, that's dope.
So I kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. So what I do is I found this company online. It's just this old lady. Her name's Joanne. Shout out Joanne. It's my girl. So it's this quilting company, and you order fabric prints, and they print them on fabric, and they're meant for people to make into quilts. But I ordered some, and I was like, God damn, this is great. Quality is beautiful. They're super easy to sew on. Not easy. Takes a while, but it wasn't that big of a challenge. So all I had to do at that point was learn how to sew.
You never had any experience sewing?
I sewed in high school. I was pretty nasty back then, but I made like a nice little pillow or something.
Yeah,
but other than that, no.
That's all I had. We got to make a pillow.
Yeah. Other than that, no, man. So my girlfriend at the time was really good at sewing, though. So she sort of helped me learn, gave me a bunch of pointers and like showed me a way around the sewing machine. Super helpful.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like deep dive in YouTube videos and shit. And then I got my own.
What
and
a
I
blessing
just started,
YouTube is.
Dude, I'm telling you, you can learn anything. You don't even need a college degree anymore,
Anything
dude.
you want in the world, you
it's
can
crazy.
go on YouTube.
Crazy.
Anything you want. You think it ain't there, it's going to be there.
I know. It's crazy.
I drove this beat-ass Buick, and I was trying to figure out why I had this. My antenna wouldn't go up, so my radio wasn't working. I was like, there ain't no way someone has an 83 Buick antenna instruction on this YouTube. Sure enough, it's some random farmer with this terrible quality cell phone. I'm telling you, dude, he taught me what I needed to do. He's like, pull this rag out or pull this siding out, make sure it's plugged in. It just wasn't plugged in. Worked fine after that.
It's a great resource, man.
It's
YouTube like changed the world, dude. It's weird to think about that, but
it is.
Like, what was before YouTube? Nothing.
There was like, there was
I don't even know.
Yeah, there was random videos on MySpace and shit.
Yeah. That was it.
You bought a sewing machine?
So I bought a sewing machine. Started doing that. The first batch was all right. They were a little sketchy, just in terms of like the stitching and everything. I was literally still learning. Like I took 2 days to practice maybe, and then started working on clothes.
Had character.
They did. They're definitely the stitches are definitely higher quality now. But then I forget how I got put onto this, but I did the logo patches. I got like a ton of those made, so I could just sew the logo onto whatever clothes I wanted. Yeah, which was a good look. And then I was thinking, like, man, like, what if? And what it was is like those like biker like vests or whatever, and they have like all kinds of patches on them. I was like, saw one of those one day, and I was like, that looks like a photo printed onto a patch. Yeah. And so I looked into it, and it turns out you can digitally print photos onto patches. Really? Yeah. So I found a company. I started using them instead of the fabric. Instead of fabric. I do a little bit of both, but the patches, man, like the vibrancy of the photos and the quality is just so much higher. Really? Yeah.
And that's cool. You'd be able to put it on whatever.
Yep. And they're way easier to sew on also.
Why are they?
Because they're sort of stiff and rigid. Like when I do the fabric, I have to lay everything out.
Yeah, and pin it probably.
And pin it. It takes forever. I stab myself a million fucking times.
Yeah, and keep it taut while it's on there.
Yeah, and then when it's on there, you got to make sure it's... I can't tell you how many I ripped off, dude.
Oh, I bet.
So many, dude.
Yeah, it's
just
probably
cussing out the sewing machine. Yeah. Ripping the stitches out, re-pinning it, putting it back on. Might mess it up again. But yeah, with the patches, it's like super sturdy.
Part of the process.
So I don't even use needles anymore. I just use
little sticky material on
I use like a wash away sticky thing.
Yeah.
Sticky tape.
A little bit familiar with it.
Yeah.
I look into everything.
Yeah.
I know all about it.
Yeah.
That's cool though that you get into the sewing end of it all. Like I would like to dabble in that and try to get I would more like to dabble in like embroidery. Mm-hmm. Like I just love how embroidery looks on clothes.
Yeah, same.
And it's like the staying power it has. Mm-hmm. You know, some days it's like I feel like sometimes I'll buy a t-shirt and like you can wash it once or twice and it's trash. Mm-hmm. And it makes me so mad. And you know, that kind of
that pisses me off too.
It pisses me off because like
nothing pisses me off more than that. Almost.
Obviously, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like you're putting out clothes, so like you know the quality and like the care and like the attention to detail that you put in your stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like I'm the same way. It's like I become obsessive over like, you know, what the most comfortable shirt is. Like,
dude, same. Like, recently, I have really been obsessing over that.
What are you finding? Like, what do you like to use?
I just started using Carhartt recently.
Yeah, I would love to.
Dude, it's just, they're so nice and they'll last a million fucking years.
They're expensive. I know.
They're expensive.
If you don't want to go the vintage end, and if you don't have a plug, like the wholesale plug, you know, and you just want to buy them online, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. It is a bit more expensive, but
it's worth it.
I save money doing all the production by myself. By production, I mean sewing everything by myself.
Yeah.
So it sort of evens out for me. Other than that, I've really been switching. Like that's like a blend. I forget what it is, maybe like 70-30, but I've really been trying to switch towards like more heavyweight. Yeah. Mostly cotton.
Yeah. I switched. I like that. You know, being a bigger guy, that's what the bigger guys like, just because it ain't as like form fitting. Yeah. You know, like a heavier shirt. Like I tried to print some of my shit on all cotton, the Gildan Hammer shirts, and like they're nice.
Oh, this is a Gildan Hammer.
It's like
it's a decent shirt.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'd never use it again.
Yeah, I would never use it again.
But it's a decent shirt.
I didn't hate it though. That's what I'm saying. The Gildan Hammers are cool. They're nice and they're thicker, but like cotton is just like, you know, it tends to show its wear over time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's like I use Next Level. Okay. You familiar with them?
Yeah, I know Next Level.
It's like I like Next Level. It seems to be like, you know, a fan favorite. Like people like the way that fits. It's comfy. Mm-hmm. But it's like
another brand, Bella Canvas.
Bella Canvas.
Are you familiar with them?
I think
similar to Next Level. So they're just like an alternative to kind of like a step up above like your Gildan or
it's crazy though how like obsessed someone could get. With the stuff.
You know, it's the coolest thing, dude. If you go to Clockwise. My good friend Riley, he runs a brand called Pseudo Dudo. You ever hear that?
I don't think so.
He's a fabulous graphic designer. I'll send you his shit later. You should have him on here.
For sure. What's it called again?
Pseudo Dudo.
Pseudo Dudo.
Yeah. He's an incredible artist.
Yeah, send me it.
But he just split with Clockwise. He's officially opening up a full-time design studio.
Oh, really?
Under Pseudo Dudo. Yeah. But for a while he worked at Clockwise, and I love going there, dude, because they have a touch and feel room. Yeah. You go in and you could just see and touch all the blanks that they offer.
I didn't know that. I never been there.
Oh man, it's great. It'll change your life. Dude.
I didn't know that was a thing.
If you're into what we're talking about, it'll change your life.
Yeah, I would love to do that because that's like what I want. I hate fucking shopping online.
I know you don't know what you're getting, and it's like, I mean, they say it's like, you know, blend or whatever, but you get it and it doesn't feel like it should.
Don't feel right.
Yeah.
I bought some baseball tees one time, and it was like, oh, these are nice, like soft cotton. I got them. It was like a tissue.
Yeah. Dude, are you kidding me? I got some the other day, Champion. I was like, fuck yeah, Champion baseball tees, like they should be good to go. I got it. It feels like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, dude, it
feels like a flimsy piece of cardboard.
It's a shame.
I probably shouldn't plug that because I'm still going to put them out.
Yeah,
I digress from that.
That's all right. So, what do you do? I mean, us being like spontaneous and shit like that, do you have any sort of plan about what you do coming up? Like do you have any sort of plan about what's next? It's a loaded question.
It is. I have an answer, but I don't think I want to plug it.
All right. Printing stuff though, you just print whatever, whenever. If you got a nice shirt or something, I mean a nice image, toss it on a shirt.
Yeah. And what I've been doing recently is more so like, instead of printing like large runs, like I would have made like maybe 25 of that shirt. Now what I've been doing is, like I said, I would, like with the Carhartt, like trying to step up the quality but lower the quantity.
Yeah.
So, and I've been doing them all myself, like all the production myself. So I'll now offer maybe like 12 of a shirt.
Yeah.
But what that allows me to do is like put out more shirts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Essentially, which is what I want to do is just like, it would be cool if like once a week I could put out a shirt.
Absolutely.
So that's the point I kind of want to get to. Other than that, I want to do another pop-up soon. Right before COVID hit, I was planning another corner store, a week-long pop-up.
Yeah.
At a gallery in Garfield. I was super stoked for it. I've been trying to get into the space for a minute. Finally had it. Was talking to the owners. COVID hit, fell through.
That's a shame.
It is, dude. But
put a damper.
Everyone went through it.
Yeah, put a damper on a lot of people's stuff.
Yeah, I can sit here and say, "Oh, that sucked," all I want, but it's like my little cousin couldn't graduate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, who am I to complain? Like, everybody has shit they lost out on.
Absolutely.
My brother couldn't go on his honeymoon to Australia.
Yeah,
like.
Dude. That's messed up.
It's selfish to.
It was a leveling. It was a level of the playing field.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
It's just like everyone was locked in. Yeah. Everyone had to deal with it.
Yeah.
But there was some benefit.
You asked me what I was doing during that.
Yeah.
In terms of the benefits of it, for me, it was really like a reset. Like I said, I stopped drinking pretty much for 2 months. I'll be drinking a little bit here and now then, but nothing like I used to, man.
Yeah.
And that was like, I don't know if that would have happened. Like, if COVID didn't come, like, I would have just kept going out to bars and shit all the time. Like, that really changed my life, man. And I'm kind of thankful for that.
Absolutely. I was never a drinker. I can't really.
I admire you for that.
I guess. Like, I don't know why. I just like.
Well, you don't see the importance of it because I'm not trying to say like I was balls to the walls drunk all the time, but like
it's
it was certainly becoming an issue.
Yeah, it's easy to go out and it be a social thing.
Yeah.
Like I understand. I have friends that enjoy it. It's just my parents never drank, so it was just like never something that like I picked up. I honestly was always just afraid of puking. So like that's why I never did it whenever I was younger, whenever everyone was sneaking like Mad Dog and shit like that and like Keystone. Like I just never wanted to throw up. I saw everyone else puking and I was like, I don't fucking want to do that.
Yeah.
And it just stuck kind of.
Yeah. I mean, that whole party scene wasn't really my scene to begin with.
Yeah.
Especially in high school.
Yeah.
College, it was a little better. I don't know.
That's cool though.
I didn't really fit in a lot of the parties either.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's
like
just like.
You would never catch me at a frat party or nothing like that.
Ugh. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated even going. Just like, I had friends that went up to like Cal and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, it wasn't like my scene. Yeah. I just want to sit next to like a fire or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same, bro. I'm right there with you, man.
I just get anxiety while I'm sitting in a fucking party. Like, what's going to happen? What's going to pop off? I have to worry about people fucking, coming in here. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary drama.
Yeah.
What could you do? What can you do? We're all just trying to figure out life.
Yeah,
I feel like that the COVID shit is definitely interesting because like quarantine forced everyone to kind of get in touch with themselves a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, you kind of were forced to reevaluate where you are and what you're doing. And like, I mean, not everyone was like that, but it's like I was reflecting on everything with the podcast.
I put out a post and I'm going to read it to you because I think it's valuable information.
I would love it. Go ahead.
But it was essentially 5 things I learned about myself during quarantine.
Yeah. It's interesting to think about some people that, it might have been a negative for some people to have to be
absolutely,
stuck with their
man.
mind.
Especially like, friends, like I had a lot of like people took it differently. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like for some people it led to some issues, like not being able to go out and socialize, or like I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say, dude? It's
just like you're stuck with yourself.
I was okay with it though because I had a lot of work to do, and like I said, I feel like I was okay with being alone for that time because it really made me think about what was going on in my life and mistakes I was making. Not mistakes, but like directions I was going that I didn't want to be going.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my 5. It is okay to be alone. Embrace your thoughts and ideas. Be patient. Everyone is trying their hardest. Daily yoga and exercise are key for my mental and physical health. Booze is unnecessary. Boredom is this is my favorite one. Boredom is a mindset. Find something to work on and execute it.
I love that.
Live in the moment, one day at a time.
I love that. That's true, dude.
Yep.
I mean, we had all this free time, and it's like...
Don't get me wrong, I would catch myself like on Instagram for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll be like, oh man, like,
oh yeah,
I'm just wasting my time.
Toxic.
Right now.
I'd be on there for a long.
I mean, I still do. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I mean, I don't apologize, dude. I interrupt so many people on here. I just talk the whole time. It's terrible. But it's like, you know, while you're thinking of that stuff in like this quarantine, while everyone's just kind of like, you know, it's like you have all this free time. We're never going to probably have this again. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
We're never going to have to deal with this again. But in that free time, it's like that was opportunities to like, you know, think of different
absolutely.
things and like, you know, over like a whole broad spectrum, whether it be like a restaurant type of business, like those restaurants and everything like that, people had to adapt to the world that was happening around them. And it's like, you could either, you know, mope and be miserable about it and just be like, oh, I'm fucking bored. I'm locked in this house. Or you could like utilize your time and like be creative and use it as a benefit. And like, I mean, like that's basically like what I was doing. It seems like that's what I was doing. Dude.
Absolutely.
It's like you got to focus that time into like something, you know, I would go mad if I didn't, like I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
If I wasn't able to like focus things into like what I wanted to do as far as like episodes, like, now let me ask you a question being like someone who's very creative. Do you have like a anxiety about like being consistent putting things out?
In terms of quality, yeah. I want everything to be as high quality as it can be.
But I mean, as far as time, like going in between, like if you put, like if it's not like a month, like if you're like, oh, I want to put something out every month, like that adds a certain level of anxiety, I feel.
Yeah, I try not to trip over that because I like I said, I'll just put shit out when it's done and when it's ready. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Like and something I've been trying to get away from recently is traditionally how clothing brands will do like spring, summer, yada da da, 2020, yada da da. I just want to be able to like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of brands moving towards this trend, but like the day before I'm about to put something out, like haven't mentioned it at all, maybe put a few teasers on my story or something, but I'll just say like, hey, this is coming out tomorrow, and that's it. And it that allows me to like not stress over like a timeline or nothing like that. Like it's just very easy going.
100%, dude. The first t-shirts that I put out for the podcast, I was like, you know, I posted it beforehand. I was like, t-shirts coming soon. And it like puts this level of like stress on it, and it puts this label on it.
I've dealt with that before though.
And you're like, God.
Because that's how I used to do it.
Yeah. And it's like after you deal with that and understand that, it's like you think about how, you know, about how you could, you know, like I'm spontaneous like you. Like I didn't post anything about them mugs. I posted a couple things on the story like weeks ago, but I didn't even say that I was dropping them or anything. I just like throw it out there. I just like, I don't know, dude.
It eliminates a lot of stress.
It eliminates so much stress, so much like time, so much like, you know, burden. It's, I guess it's different for like you know, a brand like yours because you can put it out whenever. I just have like, sometimes I just have like an insane amount of stress because I put something out every fucking week, and it's like...
You do, but there's a nice side of that, though, too, where you're on a regular schedule. Like, I could see that side of it as well.
Yeah, I guess.
But, I mean, you could speak on that more than me.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, sometimes, like, trying to, like, link up with people. Like, whenever the lockdown happened, you know, I wasn't all right with me being, you know, myself on this podcast. Like beforehand I would do a couple solo episodes, you know, randomly, but it's just like I felt like it would be like, you know, I didn't want to be like a douchebag that was just like talking about himself and things like
Yeah.
that. That's why like I wanted to do like the research shit, but like I had such a level of anxiety about like, you know, stopping the podcast and not being able to have guests on. I hate doing video interviews because they just sound like shit.
Yeah.
So it was just like I had this crazy level of anxiety about like, you know, being able to consistently put something out because like I put stuff out for like 111 weeks in a row without missing a week. You know, besides for like 1 or 2 for a holiday.
Congrats, man. That's really
I appreciate
impressive.
that.
Really impressive.
I appreciate that. And I just wanted to like keep it going. And like, if I took a week off to go on vacation, it's like I had this insane amount of anxiety that like, you know, everyone was just going to be like, you know, fuck this
Now,
podcast.
when you do that, you don't like line it up in advance or nothing? Like,
What do you mean?
You just straight up took the week off, didn't post one?
No, I just didn't post one.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I was going away to my buddy's cabin, and it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. We were all self quarantined, and we were just up in this cabin for like 3-4 days. And I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna like worry about it. I'm just gonna like, you know, take a week off. And I just felt like everyone was gonna be like, you know, I'm not gonna ever listen to this again.
I feel that not even just about releasing things, but like it took me a long time to realize that like I don't have to post every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's people might even prefer that
Yeah.
because like if say you're posting every day for a month, so let's say that's 30 days, so probably 10 of those posts are going to be shit that you didn't need to post.
Yeah.
And
You're just trying to fill it.
Just trying to fill it for no reason. For what? Like
Yeah.
for a couple of likes
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, wait till you have something quality that people are going to care about.
I agree with that.
That took me a while to realize, though.
Yeah. Well, that's good you can realize that stuff. I feel like that takes a lot to be
Yeah.
able to reflect on yourself and
Yeah.
understand that.
There's on the flip side of that coin, I would say there's like just and my perspective is unique because it's just me working on the brand. Like I said, I do it all. So like
Yeah.
me, if I had a team of people who could help me work on content and we could make sure everything is up to par,
Yeah.
like then we could post every day. Like there's certainly brands who post every day and it's quality content.
Yeah.
But I just don't have time for that. And
Yeah.
I'd rather just post when it feels right and when I'm confident with what I'm gonna put up there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I do the same shit, dude. It's just like I do this stuff myself, so it's like I feel like that adds a whole different level of stress. It's like I have
Yeah,
someone shoot photos for me because I don't take photos, but like
Who is that? Dylan?
yeah, Dylan Rosgone,
Oh yeah. Yo, those photos were wild.
kid's an animal.
Yeah.
He's wild. He
It's
just
crazy.
He gets you should link up with him, dude.
Yeah, I'd like to. I don't know if we ever met, but I'd like to meet him.
I'll connect you guys. He's
Okay.
a great person. You know, he's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
He's just like a straight up, he's like a gonzo artist, dude.
Yeah.
He just does not have a fucking agenda with what he does. Like I gave him them mugs and I was like, here, dude, just take them.
And that's what he delivered you?
Bro.
Sheesh.
He did
Are you
that
kidding me?
in one night.
Damn.
He gets crazy.
See, that should product shots or something. I can do like a little flat lay and like just for the website or whatever.
Yeah.
But shit like that is beyond me.
Yeah, dude. It's
Same shit with like what Cody does with like restaurants. Cody Baker does with restaurants. Like that shit is so cool to me.
It's insane because people are so like you have to have like a certain like you have to be able to unlock your brain and get like so wild and creative.
Yeah,
like,
I just don't see like a glass of wine that same way,
dude.
or like a coffee mug that
It's
same
weird.
way. Like to me, I would just set it on the table and shoot it.
He sent me that picture and I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
I was like, "How?" I was like, "How'd this even happen?"
Yeah, no, those were dope. Man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. I'm so happy with him, and he's just like someone I grew up like knowing, and it's just like
Oh, you known him for a minute?
I've known him for a minute. He went to like my high school for a minute.
Where did you go to school?
Elizabeth Forward.
Okay, we used to play games of football. I think Woodland Hills
Yeah, no,
or
You-
soccer. Maybe we.
Yeah,
we
that's
used to play
probably it.
soccer. Maybe.
Maybe something like that. But it's like you know, I just like the people that I like. I'm super passionate about like trying to like, you know, keep things in the community, like whether it be like getting
too.
my stickers made, you know, like he's a local dude up in Bell Vernon. You know, he prints all this stuff for One Up. His name is Tyler Rulo, Our House Printing.
Oh, somebody mentioned him to me.
Dude, it's just
I work at a print shop though, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Flower City.
Yeah, I work at Flower City.
I've worked with Josh too. He printed all my
Josh
coffee
is the man.
labels.
The day, I love you, Josh. I had a great meeting with him today, actually.
Yeah.
Discussing what I was talking with you earlier about, but
he's another creative.
The day after I got laid off, because we offer a service at Flower City where artists can come in and drop off their canvases or whatever, and if it's too big to scan, we offer a service where I'll photograph it and you get super high-res images of your artwork that you can then go on to post or get prints made of or whatever. So I had been doing that with him for maybe 2 years leading up to this.
Yeah.
But the day after I got laid off at Uber, I went in there to do some of that work, and I told him, and he was like, "You want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I started the next day. That's my man.
Yeah, that's a good dude.
I've been there since. That was in maybe October.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear that people...
Anyway, I heard about Riley, you said was his name?
Who? No, Tyler Rulo.
Oh, Tyler Rulo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about his stickers. I heard good things.
Yeah, dude. He all them stickers that you have right there are all printed by him.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Who does your graphics?
Random, different people. Like my new one with the face was a dude who is a chef down at Streets on Carson. He's just an insane artist. There's an artist named Dante. I know him. Yeah, Dirty Bird. I made that Scream one. Michael Patrick is a tattoo artist. He did the Gravestone one. Everyone, dude, and that's where I mean, like, full circle. I try to keep it around the city. Like, I don't work with just one person. I want to just like kind of work with everyone. I kind of want to just like.
And Pittsburgh's small enough that you can do it.
100%, dude. And there's a person in this city that is incredible at anything you need, any service you need. There's someone in the city that does that. And I feel like the podcast is like kind of what I wanted to. That's a direction I wanted to go in. I wanted to be able to like, I wanted basically, I wanted my podcast to be almost like a personal, real Yelp review almost. I wanted people to be able to like listen to who that person is and learn about that person and, and understand like how they got to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Matt Christie is a chef at Streets on Carson. I could eat his food every day. There's a different level.
I still haven't been down there.
Really?
You're going to slap me on the wrist. But
yeah, let's go. We should go. I'll
go with you.
Yeah, we should definitely go.
Dude, I would love to. Let's ride bikes down there and something, and then go down there.
Yeah, I'm down with that. We'll talk about that after and make a day with that. But it's just like, I as a consumer and someone who likes to buy things and likes to learn things and likes to be in the know of the city, I want to be able to know who that person is rather than just like the name of the person who owns fucking Millie's or something like that. I want to know Chad Townsend. I want to know what he's like. I want to know why he did that. I want to know why Rick Seebeck is the way he is.
It's like I told you when I got here, dude. This was what you're doing was a missing market, like a missing void, and somebody really needed to step up and do it.
I appreciate that.
And you kill it, dude.
I really appreciate that.
And there's, like we were talking about, there's other podcasts that are certainly relevant.
Yeah.
But nobody does it like you with like this sort of variety of people. It's just so cool. Like, dude, it's just, I can go down the list of people you've had, and every one I'm like, yo, like what even made him think of like beekeeper, like shit, like
someone who digs graves.
yeah, like
I don't know, dude.
It's so cool to me.
Growing up, I was always fascinated about people who like death has always been such a negative, scary thing, but like just wanted to know someone who.
Oh, bro, what was the haunted house episode? Remind me.
Oh, Castle Blood.
No.
The
Demon on Brownsville Road.
Brownsville
Is that?
Road.
Yeah, that was fire, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
he's a.
I really enjoyed that. I bought the book and read it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Did you like it?
I did.
It's
I enjoyed it.
He's like that. It's interesting to hear everyone's like stories, and like whenever he was on and I talked to him, I had people that were like, "That's bullshit," and then I have people that are like, "That's scary as fuck," and it's like. I don't know. It's whatever everyone makes of it. It's to each your own, dude. It's like, it's just like this is just an excuse for me to be able to talk to people. When
Yeah.
could you go to a place, like if I saw you at a bar somewhere, you know what I mean? I'm not going to just sit down with you
and get my
randomly.
life story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
This is an excuse to be able to do
Yeah.
that. And this is just like me being able to, you know, give it to other people so they could kind of understand. And I think people will be able to understand who you
Yeah.
are.
That's similar to what I want to do with my brand, man. It's for me, like, it's all about, I don't want to be another brand that's just like, hey, I have this to buy. Just buy my shit. Like,
Yeah.
I want to build a community of people who respect me and respect each other for being into the same things. And that's what I've tried to do so hard with, like, these events I've had. I've had numerous pop-up shops that we haven't mentioned as well, but like bringing people out and like getting people together to have cocktails and like look through the photos and have clothes and open discussions about like
100%.
what's going on in the city and who's killing it in the art world, who's not. I think that those community events are so valuable, and particularly the 412 ride was like, I didn't expect that to blow up like it did, man. I really didn't. It was just like a random, like when I was on the phone with my friend David, who works at 412 Food Rescue. We were initially, we were literally saying on the phone, like, if we get $50, that would be cool. Yeah.
And 9,000 plus.
Yeah.
What, 9,180?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's...
So I think what really helped is I hit up my friend Jordan Snowden at the City Paper. She had done a piece on the corner store pop-up.
Yeah.
So I hit her up and I like just gave her a little quick press release on it. She jumped on it. And then like the next morning, dude, KDKA was calling. Did you see that?
Really?
You ain't see that?
No, dude, I don't have
Oh,
cable
yeah,
or
my
nothing.
big goofy face was all over KDKA, bro.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to stay off the news, dude.
I don't watch that shit. That
I
shit's
know.
the worst. Especially
That's dope,
the
though, that
local
you were in
news,
there.
dude.
That's awesome.
But
man.
yeah, man. So Brenda got interviewed by Brenda Waters. It was great, and they move quick, dude. It was crazy, man. I got a call that morning from my friend David, and he was like, "Hey, Brenda Waters is reaching out. She wants to do a piece on you. Like, when are you free?" And I was like, and she was like, and he was like, "Well, she's like ready to meet you in half an hour." And I was like, okay, let's get it.
Yeah.
You know, I had dropped everything I was doing, met her down the North Shore. It was really weird because we like had the masks on and shit, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, had this big silly mask and I drew this crazy smiley face on it. It looked like the Grim Reaper. It's like a Joker or something. Stupid as hell.
That's all right, though.
But yeah, it was really nice. And then after that, it was a really nice interview. She did a really good job. She retired like the week after. She was she was at KDK for almost 40 years.
Really? Brenda Waters?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm going to try to hit her up.
I got her number, bro.
Yeah.
I got some wild numbers in my phone.
Yeah, I was talking to Sally.
I got a nun in here the other day. I
saw that photo you posted. I saw that.
Yeah,
dude.
man. I don't know.
That's cool that like I love the aspect of like, you know, just not having like a plan and just like going out and seeing what comes to you.
Yeah.
It's dope, dude. I love it. I love it. It's
Thank you, man.
You got cool stuff going on.
Thank you.
I hope that we could get things going after this fucking virus stuff, dude. It's weird. It's weird to see everyone with masks.
Yeah, it hasn't like in terms of sales like slowed me down that much.
That's good.
Honestly.
That's because people were just online buying shit.
Yeah, it's serious, and
got
I'm guilty of it
$20.
myself, bro. I'm
know.
guilty myself.
Me too.
Where it has hurt me though is I do a lot of like festivals, like music festivals, arts like Deutschtown Music Festival, anything Redfish Bowl does. I'm always down vending at their shit. So like, and those are always big money makers for me. Plus, it's a great way for me to
network,
meet people and network.
Absolutely.
So that's gonna hurt me this summer. But I just got to step up the e-commerce.
Yeah, dude.
I had an interesting meeting, which is why we had to push this back. But I had a meeting with my friend, my brother's friend actually, who is regional manager of FedEx in the Pittsburgh region.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he basically has access to all these like crazy like charts and data of like your SEO. You're familiar with this? Search engine
Oh,
optimization.
yeah.
So he gave me. He's like a wizard of e-commerce, dude, and shipping. So he just gave me like the whole rundown on everything I should be doing. So I'm really trying to step up online sales.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's the plan for that's what's coming up next is the next level of
That's
online sales.
It is. What he told me was even more important than e-commerce is what they're calling m-commerce now, mobile commerce, and just like making sure that your website is totally integrated to seamlessly work on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Because like people, and I do this too. Like if I'm on a website, I'm on my phone or something.
Absolutely.
Nowadays. Like I don't. The only reason I use my MacBook is like for Photoshop and shit.
Absolutely.
I don't know. So apparently that's the next big thing.
Yeah. Well, you got the early jump on it.
I'm trying, man.
All right. Well, let's get to the ending segment of the podcast.
Sure. How long have we been bullshitting?
Hour and a half.
Oh man.
We talk a good
We could
bit
go
of
on a long.
Oh yeah, dude.
We got to kick it again.
We
sometime.
could talk for a long time. So the ending segment of the podcast is an ending segment called Desert Island Questions. Desert Island Questions is whenever I get each of my guests 3 categories to take with them on a desert island to exhaust until expulsion.
Okay.
So the first category of Desert Island Questions is things to watch on a desert island question. Or on a desert island question. Things to watch on a desert island.
Yeah, I got you. I would need Curb Your Enthusiasm box set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all 10 seasons, baby. I would watch that shit on repeat.
I've
die.
only dabbled randomly, but I need to watch it.
You should.
I know.
I don't even want to say anything.
I never watched
if you don't
Seinfeld
like
either.
it, you don't like it.
I
It's
never
like,
watched Seinfeld either.
Seinfeld.
It's dated.
It's dated, yeah.
That's why I can't get into it right now.
I agree.
But
It's
Curb,
hard to watch that now when there's comparable shit to watch.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
insane. I do like Curb though. Like of the episodes I watch, they are funny.
Yeah. Some people just don't get the humor though, and that's fine.
I know.
You know, that's fine.
I just like Larry David. Always just like he's always just like
he just keeps it real.
Yeah,
dude.
he just
and
keeps it
my
real.
favorite part is like a lot of it, not a lot of it, but a good part of it is just like spontaneous comment, like how do you
Improvisation.
say it? Yeah. Unscripted, just improv.
yeah, that's the best.
Which is the best, dude. It's like
It's fun.
yeah,
Very
and
fresh.
not many like shows like that would do that.
Yeah.
Anymore. I don't know if they ever did. So yeah, Curb. Other than that, I would need to be able to watch soccer.
Soccer?
Just do live sports count.
Who's your favorite team?
Man City.
Okay.
Yeah, soccer. Other than that, yeah, it's I don't know, dude. I don't watch that much stuff, man.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
nothing else.
I would say
that's like-
Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never watched it yet. Everyone tells me to.
Oh no! Oh man, it's good wholesome
I
content.
know. My wife watched it. She loves it. It's so
Yeah.
hard now because there's so many things to watch on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
There
you could.
really is.
There's so much good stuff on TV
Yeah.
to watch. I need to watch The Watchmen. I haven't watched that yet.
I haven't seen that yet either.
Everyone's been telling me about it. It's, with this quarantine, it makes me. I'm just tired of watching shit. Kind of.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
feel you.
It's fucked up.
That's why I like things like, well, Curb. I've seen them all probably 5 times. I've
Yeah.
been through all 10 seasons.
So you can just put it on in the background.
So I'll just put it on in the background. Same with like Bob's Burgers, shit
Yeah.
like that. I'll just like
The
have shit.
Office is like that with me. I
Yeah.
just put it in the background. Do you read it all?
Not so much.
No. What about? Were you a video game person?
I was growing up. I recently, at the beginning of quarantine, went out and just like spontaneously bought a PS4 and thought I would get back into it.
Yeah.
And I returned it a couple of days later. It just started taking up all my time, dude. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, I usually ask people to pick 3 books and video games are
I'm sorry,
are my fallback, but that's all right. No problem.
What
at
else
all.
you got?
Let's see here.
You can come up with something.
I could come up with something. What about your favorite 3 favorite towns in the city? It's like
Okay.
Yeah.
Like neighborhoods, you mean?
Yeah, neighborhoods.
Yeah, Bloomfield for sure.
Bloomfield?
My grandfather, my family is originally from Bloomfield. And that's where I live now. And I've been hanging around there my entire life. So I'd say Bloomfield first and foremost.
All right.
Second, I love the South Side, dude. I hate it like on a Friday, Saturday night, but I just love how gritty and grimy it is down there. I really do.
Yeah. I've been having a way different appreciation for it ever since I've been biking around on that trail.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like I like it in the daytime if there's not a lot of people.
Same.
But the nighttime,
you will rarely, maybe twice a year, catch me down there at 1 in the morning on a Saturday or something.
I'd rather be drugged through the street.
Yeah, dude, same. That's not my
Terrible.
scene. The only time I go down there is to go to D's because it's like the nicest pool hall around.
Yeah, you like pool?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man,
yeah,
I'm a big pool player.
Are you?
We need to get going on that too.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that plays pool.
Yeah,
we need to get going on that.
We will. We have a lot of shit to get going.
Yeah, we do. We'll definitely do another episode of this too because I feel like we barely even touched a lot of the stuff. What about?
We'll have to do part 2.
Yeah, we will. What about? Okay, so I mean, Bloomfield South Side.
Bloomfield South Side. I love. Probably Oakland.
Yeah.
Just because it's the most.
It's very diverse.
It's very diverse.
It is.
It feels the most alive to me. Like more so alive than downtown.
That's a good way to describe it.
It feels like the biggest city.
There's a lot of action in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
It's a lot of action. There's a lot of motion there.
Yeah.
The city is kind of like eerie. Like even whenever I've been riding,
What you mean downtown?
Yeah, like riding my bikes and shit like that.
Been strange our entire lives.
Strange.
It will never change.
Yeah,
I feel.
it's just like weird down there.
Yeah. You've been over the Strip District recently?
Yeah.
Oh, shit is wild over there now, dude.
Why?
With these condos they're putting up, man.
Oh, I know.
It's crazy.
It is. It's a shame. I like all the fuck condos stickers I see everywhere, but
yeah.
You know, I'm someone who is like super sheltered about things as far as like exploring our city.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've lived over here for like 6 years, but like, you know, I haven't like started really like exploring things since like the last couple years. You know, like I never really was someone who ever spent time down the Strip or down the city or anything. And now like I start to more and more, and I just realize like how great it is. Like,
it is. It really is.
Like everything is just so cool. We have a lot of things that people could take advantage of down here.
Yeah, I'm still finding shit too. I've been here my whole life. Like
Absolutely.
I haven't been to Streets on Carson.
You ever been to Salim's Market?
Yeah, I heard you talking about. I've been going down there, bro. That's my favorite spot to eat in the whole city.
I've been asleep on it.
And I was thinking about this. I'm glad you reminded me, but you got to try the beef kebab, man.
Beef kebab.
The burgers are fire. You're right.
I know. I got a burger. I did.
Oh, you did get one?
I got one the other day. I went there not last night, but the night before.
Would you say it was the best in the city?
The burger. I think that.
It's up there. I
think that if I got a beef burger.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up because I didn't even realize that I got a beef burger. I wanted a lamb burger.
Mm-hmm.
I will not make a judgment until I have a lamb burger.
Okay.
Because I feel like their beef burger, you know, like it was just a beef burger. It's a regular burger.
Yeah.
Their lamb burger is what I've been.
The lamb is where it's at. The quality of meat and the care for the meat that they have.
All the food though is like.
Fire.
Exceeded my expectations
Fire,
outrageously. It's the best spinach I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh yeah,
hands down.
Absolutely. That's my go-to. If I don't get the beef kebab, I'm telling you, you should try it, man.
I will try it.
Comes with like a little yogurt sauce on the side.
I'm gonna be going there all the time. It's probably the same sauce that comes with the spinach feta pies.
Might be.
But everything down there, I get the chili chicken.
Chili chicken, I was gonna say that's my go-to. You can also get half chili chicken, like half tikka masala. That's a move, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
And
do
then the
that.
spinach on the side. That's really the move.
I'm gonna have to. I just want to rip through their whole menu. It's so good.
Good luck, man. That shit's crazy.
I know it is. All right, so third category: 3 things to listen to on a desert island. So you get to pick 3 CDs.
I would need like I'm a huge Fish fan.
Fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would need like a discography of Fish, and I could get by on just that.
What's his name? Jaco Pastorius? Or what's the dude's name? He says it in the fucking... Or Trey Anastasia.
Trey Anastasia. Yeah, that's the front man. Jaco. Who's Jaco? That sounds
Jaco Pastorius was in he was a bass player in a group called Weather Report. It was like very jazzy, very weird.
Okay.
But he's
I might have to look into that.
Yeah, you should. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm a huge Fish fan though. Okay. Absolutely love that shit. Second, I would say Nas, Illmatic.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah, that's good for sure. It's understandable.
Third, I would say podcast called The Business of Hype.
Business of Hype.
Yeah, it's. Are you familiar?
No.
It's run via Hypebeast, and they have a Hypebeast radio now.
Yeah.
Where they offer a few different shows, and this is one of the shows. And a dude who runs it is Jeff Staple, who owns Staple Pigeon.
Yeah, Staple Pigeon.
But basically, he has all the guests are people who have started basically like hype businesses. Not necessarily. I hate that word, hype, dude.
Yeah.
I do.
But I get what you're saying. It's a good way to describe
people
things.
who run like clothing brands like mine, who have just become, who have made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And occasionally they'll have like some interesting guests on there. Like, but I think it's so cool to listen to people's stories who were in a similar position to basically where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And hear the moves they made and the risks they took and where it took them. And there's a good amount of episodes, and I could just listen to that shit on repeat and just soak up all the knowledge from these people.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why would I not listen to that? Like, they're making some of the same moves that I'm making, and I can learn from their mistakes and don't have to make them myself.
Absolutely.
So I would say
that's why I love podcasts. It's like you can listen to people's lives and learn and adapt to what they did, and kind of get the insider point of view.
Dude, I'm like not newly hip to podcasts, but anymore. But there was a time where like podcasts were definitely a thing, and I was just ignoring them.
Yeah.
Yours was maybe one of the first ones I got into, and then I was like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. The episode that got me was B White. Yo, B White, where's the new music? Boys are waiting.
They are. They've been waiting for a long, long time.
But yeah,
they've been waiting for a long time.
I saw that, and I was like, oh, this dude. I was like, oh, you know what you're doing. You got B on here.
Yeah, that's episode 58, if people haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that Mayo episode. But I don't know, dude. It's just like podcasts are, it's just like, I listen to music, but I listen to podcasts way more because it's just like, you can just learn. It's like, it's easier to learn. And like, I just like learning shit and hearing about things and knowing about things. But whatever with it.
I'm the same way, man.
It's just like, and there's podcasts for literally any interest you have. It's any interest you have. But
I would like if you could send me maybe some of your favorites.
I will for sure.
That I could get in, because I don't really know that many.
I'll send you a bunch of shit for
sure.
Yeah,
I would love that.
There's endless amounts. Okay, so second to last question is the death row meal.
A pint of Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia.
Cherry Garcia?
Yeah, and I'll eat that shit in a minute.
Okay. I know that's like the what's the word? The iconic flavor, Cherry Garcia. That's a good last meal for sure.
Yeah. If not that, I mean, a seared tuna.
Oh, yeah, that's real good. I'll give you both.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so and the last question that I ask everyone is, if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
I would say my grandma, but that's the obvious answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's such a hard question.
I think it's the most fascinating thing in the
really
world
is.
to
And I
ask
feel like
people.
you can tell a lot about a person by their answer.
Yeah, but like, it's not meant to really be
Trip you up, I know.
Yeah, it's not meant to trip you up and be like pre-thought, like, it's just like, me doing this, you're about to be 123rd episode. So like, I've heard 123 people's answers.
I would say Fred Rogers.
That's a great answer. I mean, that's a great answer.
I grew up on him. I think he's an inspiration.
It's definitely like hearing how people answer that question is so interesting to me, because like I've had people that said like Randy Marsh from South Park. I've had people that say like Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, Bourdain's a good one.
Like there's so many like interesting answers. I think I really like try to like boil mine down on who I would love to talk to, and I really think that it would be either Robin Williams or Richard Pryor.
Okay. Dude, I was watching some Robin Williams stand up the other night. I was trying to work on something. I literally couldn't work on it because I was laughing so hard.
Dude, unreal.
Just unreal.
Just like a national treasure, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Really like makes my heart warm. Whenever I think about it all, it's just like to be able to just talk to that guy, for someone like him to be like such a great comedian, such like a fashion icon.
Yeah.
Like that dude was wearing Bape and shit before like,
Yeah.
you know, Hypebeast even knew what it was.
Yeah.
It's just like, and he was a fucking genie.
Yeah.
And he was a crazy cokehead. And he was
He
just like,
was definitely crazy. Yeah.
dude, and it's just like that life is just so, I mean, it's almost like,
It's unimaginable.
yeah, it's
almost.
unimaginable, dude.
Yeah.
Couldn't even
So
understand
far from what we are on.
100%. Dude, I think that this was a great conversation.
I think so too, man.
I feel like you're a super interesting
We talked
guy.
about life more than we talked about the brand, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because to me, the brand is my life, a
Yeah,
reflection of my
exactly,
life.
dude.
So
People know what this is. Like once
Yeah.
they're able to like click on Bankrupt Bodega, they're going to see what we're talking about. But it's like, you know, there's only so many words you could say about a t-shirt that has like
Yeah.
a picture that you printed on it. But it's like, you know, like I know what products you put out
Yeah.
by looking at your Instagram. I don't know who you are.
yeah,
That's why I kind of
yeah.
dig and ask. And it seems like you're someone that just got, you know, the way I kind of describe it to people with me is like, I feel like that there's just like a faucet running at full speed at all times right now in my head. And the water that's coming out is like all these crazy rainbow colors and everything like that. And it's just like, you know, every once in a while I put like a cup in there and it's like,
Take a little out.
I take a little out and it's like, those are my projects. Like the
Yeah.
fucking mugs.
What happens to the water that passes through though?
It just keeps going and it's like a fountain. It's like a fountain that just keeps going.
I'm saying you got to store some of those ideas somewhere. Though,
That's what I
and
mean.
Revisit
The
them.
fountain keeps going through. It's
Yeah.
like the water keeps recycling. It's like a fish tank.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like, but it's like whenever I go to work and shit like that, where the corporate stuff comes into play, I feel like that water turns gray, and it's like all the interesting comes out of it.
I mean, I don't know, man. You got to pay the bills and shit.
Got to pay the
Got
bills.
hella loans.
Yeah,
You know?
got to do it right.
Yeah, that's why
life.
I did it. I found out quickly it wasn't for me though. Who knows? Maybe I'll be back, but
Who knows, dude?
hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I hope you fucking I hope everything just flourishes with this, and we're all able to pay our bills with doing things that we love.
That's the dream.
It's the dream,
brother.
Take a second and promote everything you got to promote. Where people could find you, everything.
You can find me online. The web shop is bankruptbodega.com. Instagram, Bankrupt Bodega. Facebook, Bankrupt Bodega. You can find my personal page at Pat Bruener, Instagram and Facebook. On there, I share a lot of my like freelance work and just sort of personal projects that aren't really associated with the brand, but I still think they're pretty cool. So maybe check that out as well. Other than that, I'm going to be putting out some new clothes soon. Hopefully, might have a big announcement coming up. But yeah, bankruptbodega.com.
Follow it to keep up on all the new stuff that's coming.
And thank you, really, man, for having me.
Absolutely,
This
dude.
has been a pleasure.
I appreciate it. It was a pleasure for me.
Yeah, and I'll this is something I didn't know if I should say, but I've set a goal to be on here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I appreciate
so
that.
I'm stoked about it. I really am.
Absolutely, dude. I'm happy that that like this is something that like you would even want to, do.
Like I said, I have so much respect for you, man, and I wanted to be a part of it.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that we made this happen. We'll have to get on episode 2 here.
Yeah. Down the line.
Down the line for sure. Once we get all them big projects out there.
Yep.
Everyone else that's listening, it's a pleasure as always. I appreciate it. I got some new stuff out. There's some mugs. I'm happy with them. Very proud of them. They're on the website. They weigh a shitload. That's why shipping is a lot. I apologize for that. But find me. You know where to go. I'll call you right back. If you could please take a second. The only thing I ask of you, you don't need to buy nothing. You don't need to do nothing. Scroll up on your podcast app and please just hit subscribe. Throw a rating and review. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, just don't say it. We're all working hard out here and we need no negative vibes in this world. No negative vibes. But thanks for listening. Call you right back.